Cool. Do people still write code? Yes, sometimes. Maybe, kind of. Okay, cool. Sometimes I work with code bases that take much longer to run in their entirety in order to check if there's an error than it would to just pass the code base to a language model and ask if there might be an error. And so I wanted just a simple utility that I could import and run to make that check. And so I call this AI Linter. Eventually, this could be a checkbox or something in an IDE like Cursor. And so what this does is we have a prompt. You are an expert, in this case, you're an expert programmer and debugger. Please read the following code file. Look for internal consistency and external consistency within the rest of the code base. Be alert. Look for subtle human errors where the code doesn't do what the function or documentation hopes for it to do. And then some instructions. And so we traverse the directory, read through every code file in the code base, and then if it imports any files, then we also attach all the related imports into one call at a time. And then we ask a language model to debug it. So I'll run this on this file. We have some scripts here with some sort of simple examples of things that would pass a linter, but would not actually compile, that would not actually run. Just some basic functions that are not actually, upon close inspection, correctly written. So here in main, I just have from modules import AI linter, and then before I run, I say AI linter.run, and then I run the rest of my file. So let's try that. Great. So this file works. Okay, great. So it found a few errors in this. It found an error with this function and the suggested fix, found an error with this function and the suggested fix. I originally wrote it to actually create a new file with the edits and then replace that file. And it turned out to still create errors sometimes. We can't yet blindly trust language models to write code and then run it. And so I found it was more useful to actually just get the alert, and then maybe I can pass these instructions into Cursor or somewhere to take the appropriate debugging steps. So great, so it did its code review. All the improper functions have been identified. And these two ones, this one just passes. This is all correct code. And we're done. And now it can start the rest of the program. That's it. Yes.
So is this like looking, when you said linting, like, is it like syntax errors, or is it like looking at like, oh, you could be applying a design pattern, or this is like algorithmically bad, or like?
Tongue in cheek. The ideal interface for this would be that it, like maybe LLM calls become cheap enough that you can just run this after every keystroke eventually. And so looking more at errors that would not be caught by traditional linters, but that are have missing internal logic or these other sort of human things that also take a lot of human RAM to track and debug. So that's the intention. Yes.
So is it following PEP8 or Black, or like, how do you like set like the guidelines for like what the lib standard should be?
This is not intended to do the work of what is traditionally called a linter. This is like sort of the next abstraction layer above that.
Does it give line numbers? Can you get line numbers?
Oh, that's a good idea. I did not prompt it to, but it probably could. Right now, it just gives function names.
Yeah.
The ideal interface for this would be something like the right-hand side of the screen, built into Cursor, where you can just click the function call, and then it provides the comments alongside the code. Yes.
You said that you try to put in the fix to the code and rerun it,
Yeah.
And then you would sometimes get an error.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could recursively feed that error back and then just let it keep fixing. Can we try that to see if you get a good result?
That sounds like automated code generation.
Yeah, it won't stop until it passes all the errors.
I did not try that. I will try that. It's got to go. Yes.
I was thinking like this seems really cool. Like one step that they could get this to being an actual product that people would probably pay for is you allow this to be installed to like a GitHub org, and then you allow in the GitHub org you create a README where everyone dumps all of their opinions about how to write good code. and then you don't need to write, because we'll think of how many hours are spent in a larger org writing Linter rules. You can just have an English thing where people can update it with their like whatever they want. There's like, don't do this, this is dumb. And then you have this thing just like be like the senior engineer that just like cracks down, and you can just call it like crackdown the AI or something. And, like you'd probably get like an SMB sale with that if you just demo that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Saving a lot of what humans spend time doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arguing about. Sure. Yeah. Yes.
I saw, we're using text Da Vinci. Can you talk about models you said?
Didn't try it with other models. It's just default. No. There could be the next thing I would also want to try is passing the entire code base to larger context model like Claude. It took some tweaking for it to recognize even within smaller scripts. So yeah.
Any more questions?
Crackdown.ai.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.